Artists as enigmatic as Carson, California's Ab-Soul come once in a generation. Stevens-Johnson syndrome, a disease he contracted at 10 that ravaged his skin and damaged his eyes so bad he has to perennially wear sunglasses, couldn't stop Herbert from lighting up mics and spitting bars that goosebumped the skin. In today's episode of Culturalist Theory, we'll be ranking the terse yet profound catalog of 1/4 of Black Hippie and Top Dog Entertainment's Soul Brother No. 2. We won't be including his 2 mixtapes in the long-term series, however. LPs only. Now, open your third eye and let's do today's mathematics. Number 5, Do What Thou Wilt. What sets Ab-Soul apart is his eclecticism. While other rappers might cite Donald Goins or Iceberg Slim as writers that have inspired them, Soul Brother No. 2 heavily references mid-20th century British occultist Aleister Crowley in his raps. You'd be forgiven for thinking the Ab in his name represented abstract rather than absolute, because the influence from the controversial multi-hyphenate Crowley has led Soul to intellectual deep ends like sanitizing the idea of joining the Illuminati. As of yet, no album in Ab-Soul's discography is more heavy-handed in embracing Aleister's dark esotericism than 2016's Do What Thou Wilt, a direct quote from Crowley. This experimental rap record reached number 6 on the rap charts and number 34 on Billboard 200, is a descent into the abyss as the lyrics are as opaque as the production. The Black Magic Soul contours on here result in highlights like Braille featuring Dreamville's Boz, Threatening Nature, inspired by Raz Kaz's Nature of the Threat, and the anthemic Raw, where Ab offers to be the shooter on behalf of K-Dot against Jay Electronica, who took offense to his Control verse. While this album has a dearth of high-tempo slappers like its predecessor, These Days, Beat the Case with Schoolboy Q is one of the rowdiest records he has ever made, and The Law with Mac Miller and Rhapsody is hands down his funkiest. Ab excels in making the arcane entertaining, but his greatest trick is making moving music by bearing his soul, pun intended. There isn't a song equivalent to Book of Soul here, but the songs Drugs and Lonely Soul with SZA and Punch are revelatory songs from the man shrouded by mystique. Where this album falls apart is when it becomes so obtuse that it teeters on ridiculous. For example, Wifey vs. Wi-Fi, Soul takes an entire verse to set up a scheme where the punchline is that when you dial mom on a phone pad, the corresponding numbers are 666. It's worse than cringe, it's fake deep. The songs Womanogamy, Evil Geniuses, and more are also full of eye-rolling inducers. For the fringe few, Do What Thou Wilt might be a masterpiece us common folk won't understand. But for the rest, we'd rather eat crow than decipher Crowley. Number 4, These Days. These days, Ab-Soul's status as an elite MC is solidified and he plays the background like at Kendrick's pop-out concert.
Brooklyn, just to put me some pizza. Who can reach us? Only God can teleport this type of freedom.
However, 2014 was his peak of popularity thanks to the many slappers on his most successful album, These Days. Reaching number 2 on top rap albums and number 11 on the Billboard 200, his third album is his most easily accessible because it's less cerebral and more danceable, while still retaining that left field approach to mixing and song structure TDE's artist perfected. So many songs on These Days are fitted more to rock a party than challenge the mind. The best examples of this are the Kenny Beats produced 100 Stacks with Schoolboy Q, an infectious trunk rattler, Dub Sack, where Ab-Soul's distorted raps slide over hypnotic Dave Free and Tommy Black production, the West Coast funk of Twack with Young Jinx and Short Dog, the Mama We Made It vibes on Feelin' Us with J-Rock, and the J. Cole produced Sapiosexual that you can't help but bop to. Yes, on all these, Ab-Soul is spitting witty metaphors and double entendres, but it's not overly complex. If you're hungry for the more intricate lyricism Soul can deliver, there's some of that as well, but not as much as we'd like. On Tree Life, Soul cleverly compares his desired lifestyle to the life cycle of trees, so thoughtfully you'd be forgiven if the bars go over your head like foliage. Stigmata with Action Bronson and Assad, as well as God's Reign with SZA, are also more lyrical records, but Soul saves the best bars on the surprise acapella battle with Daylight hidden at the end of the album's last track. Several Don DeMarcos and shit like that should have been dropped for Ab's one-verse epic just for the day and light flips alone. It's a battle he clearly won. With all that said, These Days does have faults. For one, Kendrick Lamar sealed any discussion that might have existed up until that point of him and Soul being lyrically neck and neck with how he demolishes the Terrence Martin produced interlude he's given as a solo record. Secondly, never mind that with Rick Ross and World Runners with Lupe Fiasco, 2 records that are paired together in the track list falter in pleasing the two demographics Soul is trying to hit, the trappers and the backpackers. Yo, is it Uchi Wally Wally or is it One Mike? These days has a lot of jams, but it's not his best showcase of his talents. Number 3, Long-Term Mentality. Ab-Soul's Long-Term Mentality is a thrilling listen and a fulfilling introductory record to the world. After digitally releasing his debut mixtape Long Term in 2009 and its sequel subtitled Lifestyles of the Broken almost famous the year after, Top Dawg gave the green light to press up his debut for the masses in 2011. If you dived into Ab's catalog blindly without a bio on the artist, you would leave getting a good grasp of who the man behind the mic was while still maintaining an air of mystery. On Top Dawg Underdog, produced by Context, Ab lays it all on the line, spitting with veracity over moody piano keys and boom bap drums about being the most underrated out the camp. In 2011, everyone on TDE dropped. Without doubt, Soul knew ahead of time that Schoolboy's Setbacks, J-Rock's Follow Me Home, and especially Kendrick's Section 80 would be stiff competition. Much of the album's lyrics and themes are fueled by the hunger to be heard. The Tay Beast produced records bring out the most impassioned rapping from Soul. The mind-elevating Real Thinkers that's layered with double entendres. The Big Payback with Murs where both stomp a Madlib-esque beat with backpack battle bars. And LTM, whose singular verse is still one of his best. Ab-Soul's mixes the honey and the hallucinogens on songs like More of a Euphoria, Time is of the Essence with TDE President Punch, and Nothing New with vocals from Jhené Aiko. The songs that make you question reality are complemented by feel-good records that make you forget about the troubles of the day. Schoolboy and Ab-Soul sound energized on the rebel-rousing Hell Yeah, and Kendrick Lamar as well as Soul borrow the do or die flow for the pimp-type Moscato. And of course, the greatest supergroup that never was, Black Hippie, formed like Voltron on the final cut Constipation, delivering a barrage of bars over a neck-snapping beat from Soundwave. However, there are moments when Soul's influences from iconic spitters that came before show that there is still more growing to do. Briefly borrowing Wheezy's flow on Gone Insane, occasionally copying Jigga's cadences, and the infrequent lifting of Nasir lyrics to bridge bars don't detract from the overall artistry but underscore the old adage that great artists steal. Long-Term Mentality was adored by critics and scored Soul's first placement on the charts, reaching number 73 on Billboard. Number 2, Herbert. After Do What Thou Wilt faltered by receiving mixed reviews from critics, Ab-Soul took a 6-year hiatus. His return would be his 5th and latest album to date, 2022's Herbert. As of this writing, this record is close to 2 years old but still sounds fresh. Out of all of Ab-Soul's LPs, we predict that Herbert will appreciate and value when fans that might have slept on Soul will find a gem awaiting them. This return to form record evokes the spirit of his long-term series as the production is hip-hop essentialist at its core and the lyricism is depth. Soul exhibits his multiple flows on Hollandaise by going nuclear when the beat switches, commandingly controls the mic over the boom bap from DJ Premier on Gotta Rap, and channels the essence of MCing on the Hit Boy produced Fallacy. So many songs are Soul sample based like Goodman with Punch, Moon Shooter with Joey Badass, and Bucket that the instrumentals alone would satisfy the purist, but Ab's lyrics take it over the top. There's a good variety of types of songs though aside from Backpacker fan service. Fuck Out of My Face, produced by Boy Wonder, is as aggressive as its name suggests. Church on the Move is catchy neo-gospel. The Wild Side with Jhené Aiko is beautifully arranged and thoughtful. And Go Off with Big Sean and Russ is as much a party starter as it is fuel for barbershop talk on who really ate the most. Sean Dunn. Excuse me. There's much to dissect and glean from the lyrics on Herbert. This album came out after Soul tried to exit the world the same way Olori Joe did, and after he overcame the substance abuse that his friend Mac Miller succumbed to. On Gotta Do Better, It Be Like That, Herbert, and even the worst song, Positive Vibes Only, you can hear that Ab is exercising demons that plague his soul on wax. Took a leap, shattered my leg, and lost some teeth, and I'm still standing behind every word I speak. Damn. Herbert Anthony Stephen IV made an album on healing, growth, and overcoming the odds with this one, and we wish he continues this artistic direction. Another 6-year hiatus is not needed. Number 1, Control System. By all accounts, 2012's Control System is Ab-Soul's breakout album. It was his first entry into the Billboard 200 and top rap album charts, reaching numbers 91 and 9 respectively. It was also met with acclaim from music critics and hip-hop heads who still hold this LP in high esteem. More importantly though, Control System is simultaneously him coming into his own artistically while dealing with the tragic loss of his longtime girlfriend and collaborator Olori Joe. In an interview with Hip Hop DX, Ab said that the majority of the album was complete before Olori willfully leaped from a radio tower. But as the record runs, sporadic commemorations to her memory appear, like on the high-energy yet ethereal opener Solo Ho with Jhené Aiko. Throughout this epic of an album that clocks over an hour long, Soul spits bars that question social convention, existentialism, and the materialism that moves our world. Terrorist Threats with Danny Brown has dark, sinister production from Dave Free and radical lyrics. The words on Pineal Gland are third eye openers that takes you to the astral plane as the stuttering drums from Soundwave pound. Double Standards is a meditation on the gender war with symphonic production from Soundwave, and Nothing Something is chaotic prose on the confusion caused by capitalism. Listening to Ab-Soul on Control System is like taking an acid trip with a hotep who also likes to turn up. So that means you get mind-bending lyricism on Illuminate with Kendrick Lamar, salacious sex talk on Less Demons with BJ the Chicago Kid and a ferocious J-Rock feature, and an ode to Scissorp and H-Town's drink culture on Mixed Emotions, while references to Bohemian Groove and MK Ultra slip in here and there. It's quite an experience. Nevertheless, the ghost of Olori blesses this album while it haunts the artist. Olori, the first lady of TDE before SZA, has two posthumous features on the grooving songs Rebellion and Empathy. Both of those are standouts but pale in comparison to the track Book of Soul. This song, which spiritually closes the album, is the bittersweet story of their relationship and an autobiographical account of Soul's come up that's so graphic it does more justice than any biographical write-up on the man we could do. It almost moves one to tears and is a song you can revisit more than once even if you listen to Ab's music in passing. Control System is a phenomenal piece of work that shows that Ab-Soul's music is complex yet digestible when he's in full control of his powers. Yo, if you appreciated this episode, check out the list we made for the biggest name to come out of TDE, Kendrick Lamar. Also, check out our entire playlist on West Coast artists. Yo, relax. You don't have to ask. That Schoolboy Q list is coming soon. Till the next time, I'm CJ for CT. Peace.